Hello there. After all the lies and misinformation Western governments have fed their own populations with regarding previous wars, the pandemic and Build Back Better, it's no surprise that this particular story has gained so much traction. Now, all I can do here is point out a few things from each side and leave it for you, individually, to make your own decision. So, is there any truth in this claim that there are many US-run bioweapon labs in Ukraine? Something President Putin of Russia himself has claimed in the past. And that Putin was therefore justified in entering Ukraine in order to find and destroy those biolabs before they posed a risk to his country. Well, those that back the Kremlin and those that distrust absolutely everything their Western government tells them obviously think so, as social media is awash with it. The claim is that these labs do exist, and that once Russia commenced its invasion, a website containing all the relevant and damning evidence of their existence was taken off the internet by the US. And Russia has claimed the US is running, or did run, 30 of these labs in Ukraine alone. And a Russian military spokesman, Igor Konashenkov, claims to have received documents from lab employees that show orders to destroy lots of nasty bugs stored in them. This comes on top of Russian claims that Ukraine was engaged in constructing a dirty bomb from the remnants of Chernobyl, as well as planning to engineer explosions at sites containing nuclear waste and reactors so as to then put the blame on Russian forces, with the West and Ukraine calling all this just Russian propaganda and false flag stuff, while the Kremlin and its supporters claim it is all completely true. And in the West, those that despise and mistrust their own governments are coming down on the side of the Kremlin, especially on the biolabs claim, saying that their own governments have lied about so much, so they must be lying about the US not having biolabs around the world, and in Ukraine as well. Now, the SBU, the Security Service of Ukraine, put out a statement on Facebook asking politicians not to issue what the SBU says are false claims. Recently, fake news about the alleged activities of American military biological laboratories in Ukraine has been spread in the media and social networks. No foreign biological laboratories operate in Ukraine. Statements recently made by individual politicians are not true and are a deliberate distortion of the facts, with the obvious retort from Kremlin supporters being, well, they would say that, wouldn't they? But the US does conduct biological operations around the world, and it makes no bones about it. In fact, the US Embassy in Ukraine says a lot about it, and it's on their website. And I've left a link to that site in the descriptions box below. But all the individual laboratory and authority fact sheets have been removed. Or at least I can't get to the documents even using a VPN. And this is the incriminating information that the Kremlin supporters are claiming has been removed. And the fact that information has been taken down is crucial to their claim of dodgy doings. Now, the program involved is called the Biological Threat Reduction Program, which is run by the US Defense Threat Reduction Agency. And it claims that the DTRA, the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, is the only Department of Defense organization focused exclusively on countering and deterring weapons of mass destruction and emerging threats. We work with the Department of Defense, other US government and international partners to preserve peace and prepare for uncertainty, delivering innovative capabilities, objective analysis, effective programs and world-class expertise. And the US Embassy to Ukraine says the executive agents for the Biological Threat Reduction Programme in Ukraine are the Ministry of Health, the State Service of Ukraine for Food Safety and Consumer Protection, the National Academy of Agrarian Sciences, and the Ministry of Defence. So it's all technically run by Ukrainian authorities and not by the US, could be the claim. And in the overview, the US Embassy says, the US Department of Defense's Biological Threat Reduction Programme collaborates with partner countries to counter the threat of outbreaks, deliberate, accidental or natural, of the world's most dangerous infectious diseases. And it also goes on to explain what they're doing. The Biological Threat Reduction Programme's priorities in Ukraine are to consolidate and secure pathogens and toxins of security concern and to continue to ensure Ukraine can detect and report outbreaks caused by dangerous pathogens before they pose security or stability threats. So it may be that US authorities have issued instructions that anything they have collected be destroyed due to the war, possibly a very sensible precaution. Or is this threat reduction programme a deep cover for nefarious goings-on? But I would just ask the question, if you wanted to reduce the threat from these types of biological threats across the world, where would you put the labs? And I will also point out that it is the fact sheet documentation on this website that many people claim has been mysteriously spirited away that Kremlin supporters say proves their case, as if it is some sort of smoking gun. Now the links on the website I mentioned may not now work, but they're still there. But if these links did once take you to documents that show dodgy activity was going on, why would it be shown publicly on a website at all in the first place? It makes zero sense. You can imagine the US saying, put all your secret dodgy stuff out on the web, but only pull it down once an invasion has started. Sounds rather silly, doesn't it? Further, if you use the Wayback Machine, a publicly available way of viewing websites as they were in years gone by, you can actually still view these rather bland and general-looking documents by entering the broken links URLs. So not exactly top secret, is it? But China has also called on the US to explain what's going on in these biolabs and says all relevant information should be released, claiming that there are 336 of these labs in 30 countries. Chinese government spokesperson Zhao Lian said, "What is the real intention of the United States? What exactly has it done? These have always been the source of misgivings for the international community." Not helped by the US blocking the Biological Weapons Convention Verification Protocol for 20 years and refusing inspections of its sites, says China. We once again urge the US side to fully clarify its biological military activities both at home and abroad and accept multilateral verifications, said Zhao. And of course those in the West would say it's all mere propaganda and that of course China would make these claims on Russia's behalf. It comes down to what's propaganda and what's true. I can find the claims from both sides and what they say is going on, but no cast iron and concrete proof either way. And both sides will be screaming at their computer screens right now, saying that one or other side is obviously lying. At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide if this is a US biological threat reduction program or is it the complete reverse.